We're getting ready, getting ready at the dance floor. So turn the lights on.
Hey folks, hi, this is Gigi. Welcome back to Gigi's Unfiltered. This is episode 5, I believe, season 1. And what we're going to talk about is, what we're going to be speaking about today is about a woman's joy. And there was a quote that I had read by Rosalind Russell that, and this is a quote: "And taking joy in living is a woman's best cosmetic." And when I heard that, or when I read it, I was like struck, because there have been many times, having worked in the social services, I came across a lot of young families, older families as well, but a lot of young families. And sitting across from some of these young families, I was struck by how aged they looked. And that told me that the life we live is etched in our face. So if you're having hard times, your face will show that. And if you're living in that survival mode for so long, it gets etched on our face. And so I'm saying, when I read this quote, that's what it took me back to. And the thing is, so how do we not do that? How do we not live that hard life? I had been in survival mode for many, many years, and it's tough to get out of. But the thing is, once you can get out of it, and I'm not saying it's not easy. I had help, I had support, I had family, and I was able to realize the situation I was in and knew that I needed to stop living that way, not only for myself, but for my kids. And sometimes these situations are thrown upon us. It wasn't, at that time, it wasn't my choice. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? But once I got through it, and I knew it was the best thing that had happened, or was, the best situation for me was to get out of it. I can't say it was best for everybody else around me, but for me, it was the best thing. And I never knew that I had, it's like I talked before about the smile, how important smiling is, not only to you, but to people around you. And I think that's where the joy comes into play. Because when we are joyless, when we're living hard, there's a lot of things that we don't really smile about. It's very difficult. We can spend as much money as we want, with serums. I put on a little makeup. I tell Big Dog, okay, let me go put my gay face on. But I can't say that I've spent hundreds of dollars, maybe over my lifetime I have to date. But even then, I really didn't start wearing any makeup until I was well into my 30s. I was a clean, fresh kind of girl. But I know there are many women that are trying to get rid of those wrinkles, those crow's lines, the wrinkles. This drives me crazy right here. This little spot always drives me crazy. And I know how I got those. But when you smile, those kind of go away. I never knew, and I'm going to work on that, saying, so things to check. It wasn't until many years ago, I was sitting in my office, and this good friend of mine came and said that I had her. She goes, "You should smile more often. You have a really nice smile." I go, "I do." I was struck by that, because nobody had said that to me before. And once I became aware of that, and once I was aware of that, and I saw when I did smile what the reaction I received from other people, it was easier for me to do. In fact, one of the first things that Big Dog's mom said when she met me was, she goes, "Oh, you have such a nice smile." I said, "Okay." So I've come to learn and accept the fact that my smile is probably one of my best features. But the thing is, you can smile, but if it doesn't meet your eyes, it's not a real smile. It's fake. So it's like when we put all this makeup on and we're thinking it's gonna make us, well, it could make us happy. It could make, some people happy that they look differently. But the joy comes from in here. From in here is where your joy's at. That will exude out so that makeup isn't necessary, because a smile does lift your spirit. It does lift other people. It does make your cheeks rosy and makes your eyes dance. You can't get that by makeup. You really can't, because the joy that you exude out is genuine. So if you're finding that you don't have that joy, what is it that you can do to find it? What's your circumstances that you can do to change that will give you a life of joy? What can you exercise? Because joy just doesn't happen. It's in here. I mean, you can be happy and joyful. And I think there's two different things about that. I think happy is it's like the moment. You're happy right now. But joy to me comes from deep inside, that you carry with you, that the way you see the world is in a joyful light. Now, look, I'm not saying that Gigi's a joyful person. I've had my joyous moments. But putting makeup on isn't going to bring me joy. Putting lipstick on isn't going to make me joyous. Putting rouge on or putting eye makeup on or eyeliner on doesn't get rid of all these lines. It doesn't change my hair. Well, I could change my hair. I had it pink. It doesn't do that, because all that is like a mask. We put a mask to face the world out there. We put a mask on because now we're ready. Just like I tell Big Dog, okay, I'm going to put my game face on. It's just something that we do. But joy can be your best cosmetic. Joy can be what you carry with you that makes your eyes sparkle and your laugh lines and your smile lines disappear because you have a genuine smile. And it doesn't cost us anything. So, like I said, when I first read this quote, it took me back to those young families that I met, and especially the women. Like, what's going on? Why has it been so rough? What are your circumstances? Now, sometimes I was in a situation to help. So if I was able to help, I wanted to be able to help. But sometimes people just have to make their own choices, and they have to decide along the way what they're going to do. And that's where your power comes into play. What can I change right now? And the fact is, sometimes you don't make the change. Sometimes somebody makes it for you. And in my situation is kind of what happened. I think the change would eventually have come, but I wasn't there yet. So once the change was put on me, now I had to make the decision. Do I sink or swim? Gigi don't sink. She will tread water for as long as she can. But you know what? Gigi's going to keep moving forward. And that's what I did, because not only did I have to do it for myself, I had to do it for my kids, for my son, for my daughter. My daughter was looking at me, okay, Mom, what's going to happen next? I had to do that. I had to figure it out. And I'm not going to say stuff happens to us. It's not easy. It's not. Sometimes there's very difficult situations that we come across, or very hard decisions we have to make. And the thing is, sometimes the hard decisions are the right decisions, but they're so freaking hard. That's why sometimes Gigi goes like that. But there has to come a point in time when you've just said enough. Enough. And you have to stand your ground, make your point, make a correction, and move forward. And in doing so, maybe you can find your joyful heart. Because now you're doing it from a place from within. Not from outer stuff that can make us happy. From within. So know that serums, facial creams, moisturizers, eyeshadow, that's not where joy comes from. Joy comes from in here. So what do I need to take care of from in here? What is it that I need to do here? And sometimes being honest with ourselves is very, very difficult. And it's hard because then you're facing the reality of who you are, what you want, and who do you want to be. And if you're honest with yourself, sometimes that's very difficult conversations to have. But in order to find your power, in order to find your peace, in order to find your joy, have that conversation with yourself. Where is my joy? Is this 25, this 50, this $150 serum? Is it really in there? I don't think so. It's in here. So, like I said, think about it. Remember what Rosalind Russell said. Taking joy in living is a woman's best cosmetic. It's true. Living right here in this moment. What is it? What is it that you're feeling? Is it what you're doing giving you joy? Is it making you feel good? Are you exuding a joyfulness? Think about that. So anyway, I think that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I think that's it for today. And I hope you enjoyed this little podcast. I know it wasn't very long. Sometimes Gigi will talk long and sometimes she won't. You'll soon find that out. But like I said, I saw this quote and I just wanted to throw it out there. So once again, taking joy in living is a woman's best cosmetic. And isn't that beautiful? All right, folks. Until next time, tits up. Have a good one. I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for joining me.
We're getting ready. Getting ready at the dance floor. So turn the lights on. You know just what we're here for. We're moving